The Western Macedonia Army Section was a field army of the Hellenic Army active during the Greco-Italian War. History. The command was established in Western Macedonia prior to the Italian attack on 28 October 1940. Based at Kozani, it was commanded by Lieutenant General Ioannis Pitsakas and comprised the 2nd Army Corps and 3rd Army Corps, each of 2 infantry divisions and an infantry brigade. The total forces available to TSDM on the outbreak of war consisted of 22 infantry battalions and 22 artillery batteries. Following the Italian attack, TSDM played a crucial role in reversing the initial Italian penetration in the Battle of Pindus, where the weak Pindus detachment was retreating against the elite Italian Giulia Alpine Division. TSDM assigned the Pindus sector to the 1st Infantry Division and progressively assigned more forces as they arrived: the Cavalry Division, 5th Brigade, and a newly formed Cavalry Brigade, managing to stabilize the situation by the 30th of October, and on the 3rd of November began a counter-attack that forced the Giulia to withdraw back to Albania to prevent being encircled. In the meantime, 3rd Corps had undertaken limited advances into Albanian territory, and already on the 6th of November, it submitted plans for a general offensive. Judged too ambitious for the moment, the Greek commander-in-chief Alexandros Papagos postponed the offensive for the 14th of November. By the 14th of November, with the Greek mobilization almost complete, TSDM's 2nd Corps, deployed in the Pindus sector, comprised 1st Infantry Division, 5th Infantry Brigade and the Cavalry Brigade, and 3rd Corps in Western Macedonia proper comprised 9th, 10th, 15th Infantry Divisions, with 11th Division assembling in its rear. 3 Corps' main objective was the capture of the Kos Plateau, which controlled access to the interior of Albania along the valley of the Devil River. The plateau lay behind the Mirava and Ivan Mountains on the Greco-Albanian frontier, which were held by the 29th Piemonte, the 19th Venetia, and the 49th Parma divisions. The Italians were later reinforced by the 2nd Alpine Division Tridentina, the 53rd Arezzo Division, and 30 to 50 tanks of the Centauro Division, leaving 5 battalions to secure its rear. 3rd Corps attacked with 20 battalions and 37 artillery batteries. Due to the lack of tanks or anti-tank weapons to counter Italian armor, the Greeks decided to limit the movement along the mountain ridges, never descending to the valleys. The offensive was launched on the morning of the 14th of November, with the Corps' 3 divisions moving on converging lines of attack towards Kos. To achieve surprise, the attack was not preceded by an artillery barrage. The Italian forces were indeed taken by surprise, allowing the Greeks to force several breaches in the Italian positions on 14 to 16 November. On the 17th of November, 3rd Corps was reinforced with 13th Infantry Division, and on the next day, with 11th Division, which along with the 10th Division formed a new command, the K Group of Divisions or OMK. The most critical moment for the Greeks came on the 18th of November, when elements of the 13th Division panicked during an ill-coordinated attack and the division almost retreated. Its commander was sacked on the spot and the new commander, Major General Sotirios Mautousis, forbade any further retreat, restoring the front. On 19 to 21 November, the Greeks captured the summit of Mirava. Fearing that they would be surrounded and cut off, the Italians retreated towards the Devil Valley during the night, and on the 22nd of November the city of Kos was captured by 9th Division. By the 27th of November, TSDM had captured the entire Kos Plateau, suffering 624 dead and 2,348 wounded. Further south and west, 1st Corps and 2nd Corps had moved to evict the Italians from Greek territory, which they achieved by the 23rd of November. 2nd Corps further moved across the borderline, capturing Ersaki on the 21st of November and Leskovac on the next day. Following the capture of Kos and the eviction of the Italian forces from Greek soil, the Greek GHQ faced two options: continue the offensive in the Kos sector in the direction of Elbasan, or shift focus on the left flank and drive towards the port of Valona. In the event, the latter option was chosen. TSDM, comprising 3rd Corps and the newly formed K group of divisions, would defend the positions on the Greek right and apply pressure on the Italians in front of them, while the reinforced 1st Corps would move north along the Guirocasta-Tepolin-Valona axis. 2nd Corps would form the pivot of the movement, securing the connection between 1st Corps and TSDM, as well as advancing in step with its western neighbor in the direction of Berat. Despite its role being limited to pinning down the Italian front in its sector, TSDM's 10th Division captured Moskopol on the 24th of November, and Pogradec, evacuated by the Italians, was captured by 13th Division on the 30th of November. OMK under Lieutenant General Kosmas captured the Ostrovice mountain on the 12th of December, while 3rd Corps, since the 1st of December, reinforced with 17th Division, which replaced 13th Division, completed its occupation of the Kamia Massif and secured possession of Pogradec. On the 2nd of December, Papagas, accompanied by Crown Prince Paul, visited the front. Generals Pitsakas and Salakoglu urged him to order an immediate attack on the strategic Klishura Pass, without waiting for 1st and 2nd Corps to level with TSDM. Papagas angrily rejected the proposal, and issued orders to continue to the prescribed plan, with 3rd Corps relegated to a passive role. This decision was later heavily criticized. Coupled with the onset of winter, it effectively froze the Greek right wing in place. Despite the atrocious weather and the heavy snowfall, the Greek offensive continued on the left throughout December. OMK, now renamed as the 5th Army Corps, but still comprising only the 10th Division, managed to advance up to Mount Tomor and secure the connection between 2nd and 3rd Corps, which remained in its positions. After the capture of Klishura Pass in mid-January, the Greek advance stalled. Despite the Greek successes in Albania thus far, in February 1941, dissension within the Greek leadership emerged over strategy towards the expected German attack and the need for a withdrawal in Albania. The front commanders in Albania represented the views to GHQ in Athens, and in early March, Papagas moved to replace virtually the entire leadership in the Albanian front. As a result, Pitsakas was moved from TSDM to command the Epirus Army Section, leaving TSDM to 2nd Corps Commander Salakoglu. Following the start of the German invasion of Greece on the 6th of April, Papagas ordered TSDM to launch an attack towards Elbasan, in conjunction with Yugoslav forces. The attack began on the 7th of April, and the 13th Division made some progress, but the Yugoslav army, also attacked by the Germans, rapidly collapsed and the operation was cancelled. On the 12th of April, GHQ in Athens ordered the Greek forces on the Albanian front to retreat, but the decision was too late. The Greek commanders knew that Italian pressure, the lack of motor transport and pack animals, the physical exhaustion of the Greek army and the poor transport network of Epirus, any retreat was likely to end up in disintegration. Advice to retreat before the start of the German attack had been rejected, and they petitioned Pitsakas to surrender. Pitsakas forbade such talk but notified Papagas and urged a solution that would secure the salvation and honor of our victorious army. The order to retreat, the disheartening news of the Yugoslav collapse and the rapid German advance in Macedonia, led to a breakdown of morale in the Greek troops, many of whom had been fighting without rest for 5 months and were forced to abandon hard-won ground. By the 15th of April, the divisions of 2nd Army Corps began to disintegrate, with men and even entire units abandoning the positions. On the 16th of April, Pittacus reported to Papagus that signs of disintegration had also begun to appear among the divisions of 1st Corps and begged him to save the army from the Italians. On the next day, TSDM was renamed to 3rd Army Corps and placed under Pittacus' command. At this juncture, the 3 corps commanders, along with the Metropolitan Bishop of Ioannina, Spyridon, pressured Pittacus to unilaterally negotiate with the Germans. When he refused, the others decided to bypass him and selected Silacoglu as the senior of the 3 generals to carry out the task. On the 20th of April, Silacoglu contacted SS Obergruppenführer Dietrich, the commander of the nearest German unit, the Leibstandarte SS Adolf Hitler Brigade, to offer surrender. The protocol of surrender was signed at 1800 of the same day between Silacoglu and Dietrich. Presented with the fait accompli, Pittacus was informed an hour later and resigned his command.